So he thinks that someone's going to be drunk enough to get into the back of his car and not realize that there is blood strewn all over his back seat. I mean, I've been pretty drunk before, but I think I would still notice that. Welcome to Talk Murder to Me, guys. We're back after a few days of not recording, and we are very excited to be here tonight on this Taco Tuesday, recording for you. So, hello.
Welcome, guys. Super excited to be here. It's weird when we're not recording for a couple of days. It's just like it feels off.
Yeah.
Like my whole world's like, wait. When are we recording?
Yeah, I was very confused. Like, I didn't know what day it was. I never know what day it is, let's be honest. But especially since I didn't have this to look forward to. Especially since the semester is winding down. I'll be
That's right. One more class to go.
So I have my last class tonight. I just have to finish up my internship hours, and I'll be done for the semester.
Oh, do you not have class on Thursday?
Nope.
Oh.
The Taco Tuesday episode was actually a hometown murder for Karina. Did that confuse everyone?
Just a little.
You know, I was like thinking about it. I hope someone doesn't base their entire calendar week off our schedule. So they thought it was Thursday.
That's right. So normally we have our quote unquote regular episodes released on Taco Tuesdays, and our taco specials are released on Taco Thursday, but we ended up doing a taco special on Tuesday this week.
Yeah, because I've been out of town.
This is day 2.
Day 2. I'm doing hyperbaric, what is it?
Hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
Hyperbaric oxygen therapy for soldiers that are crazy like me. I basically sit in a tube and I think about all my fans out there, including you.
So I will say, I'm sure that you guys have heard John talk a little bit about he has a military background. And there's an organization that's helping to provide this treatment totally covered and paid for him. To help with some traumatic brain injury and PTSD injuries. And I will say, I know that we have a couple of other veterans who have reached out to me and just said, hey, thanks for John's service, and I've served too. If anyone is interested in what we've gone through in the organization that we've used to get all this fully paid for and covered, and if you need some additional support, I'm more than happy to refer you to some resources.
But that's where I've been, and I missed you guys. That's why I put I switched the episodes up on you. I'm sorry about that. But we are resuming the schedule as normal. So this is going to be the Thursday episode. And we are recording on Sunday, which we may have a special guest, one of our old friends. And that episode is going to be fantastic. I spent a week and a half researching that episode. It's huge, and it's one of the most craziest cases. One of the most craziest cases that we have ever done. It is insane.
I'm excited for it.
It's the craziest fucking case in the existence of killing people.
What?
Surprise shots. Surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise. Ooh, that was delightful. It tastes like coffee colada syrup.
It does taste like that. It is not that, but that was yummy.
What is that, the pecan liquor?
It is.
Ooh, like I could literally drink that.
That would be really good in some coffee. Man, it's almost summertime, and maybe we can do some daytime episodes again.
You said that exact same thing on like the last episode.
I know. I just really enjoy daytime episodes.
I mean, the one time that we did that brunch episode and we were shit-faced all day.
Yeah, and we couldn't get through a second one.
Yeah, we were planning to do a double header and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We had a fun time.
We did.
Since the last time we recorded, guys, I went to Savannah.
Yes.
Last week, right? So I went to go see a friend and her new baby, and she's getting married in June. So I just want to put it out there for any of our tacos. If you want to come to the wedding with me, let me know, because I am in need of a date, and you know what? I am a fun time. And I'd be willing to bet you that Drunk Jen will also be accompanying.
Oh,
so
that's quite the offer.
It is quite the offer. I'm looking at you, to our new follower, Gordy. I was kind of shocked to see him follow us today, so that was kind of cool.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Thanks, Gordy, for the follow.
Yeah, sorry, that was really weird, and I didn't mean it to come off that way. I promise that I'm more normal in real life.
I think you should. you could have stopped 2 minutes ago.
You can also unsubscribe.
Nailed it.
By pressing the same button that you press to subscribe.
It was a follow.
It was a follow, yeah.
What does that mean? I don't know.
It means that he actively chose to follow our podcast.
That's
to see
weird.
Them.
He's following you, Jen? Like,
I don't mind.
To your job? What if he shows up at your job and be like, I followed you in here, Jen. I was looking at your butt when you were walking.
Baby.
Well, I don't have a nice butt, so he probably wouldn't be looking at that. It's all about the personality for me.
No, Jen, don't sell yourself short with personality. No one cares
I know,
about
I'm
that.
super tall.
Come on now. It's all about looks these days.
Stop.
It is. It's okay. But since I've dropped my weight, I'm like a 7.5 instead of a 4.
Hey, you were not a 4.
You're right, I was a 5.
Yeah, I'm a
Jen.
32.
So we did not get a hint tonight for this episode of Talk Mercury. I'm sure you were wondering what the heck is our cocktail and what are we drinking. Jen is drinking a lovely Sierra Nevada.
Crazy Little Thing IPA.
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah, like Queen.
And
Crazy
then-
Little Thing called Love.
Is that why you bought it, aside from the fact that it was an IPA?
I kind of bought it because the can looked like it was like nice.
So I did not give them a hint tonight, but you should have gotten a hint if you are a follower of our Instagram or Facebook page. Although I am not a follower because I don't have social media, but Nicole's been posting the hints on there because you guys want to guess. And that's what we do here at Talk Murder. We
Guess.
give you everything you want because some
You're
of
all
you
that
guys give
matters.
us money and we really need that. So we are going tonight. And
Also, belated, so it was Wayne's birthday. I just want to say happy belated birthday to Shelby the Small Taco.
Oh, Shelby the small taco.
Shelby. Okay, so there was no hint today because this story is currently in the news and they would have got it automatically. But I'm going to start the story with a video. This is going to be more of a what not to do. And someone describe what you're seeing.
There is a car, that's parked out, and a girl gets into a car.
Oh, this case.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we are discussing a case that is really close to me and all of us, actually.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
case
it
is
is
from
close.
Columbia, South Carolina. Now, I grew up around in parts in Columbia, and I'm very, very, very familiar with that area. I've gotten drunk there plenty of times.
In
fact-
5 points?
Yeah, in 5 points. So we are going to be talking about Samantha Josephson, a 21-year-old senior in at USC. She was studying political science. And
It's my major.
if the video,
This case just makes me really, really sad and also very skeptical.
yeah, so the video, the surveillance video, you see her, she's looking at her phone. She does the Uber thing on the app. She calls an Uber, however that works. She thinks it's the Uber that she's getting into. It's a black Chevy Impala, and it was not the Uber. And a day later, she was found murdered. So she got into the wrong car thinking it was an Uber.
Was the Uber she was expecting also a black Chevy Impala?
No, but we're going to get to that.
Okay.
All right, so have
You know-
both you guys heard about this story?
It's interesting because when we were so John was just sharing a little bit about his schedule, and I was saying, maybe one day a week or like twice a week I'll Uber home. This is when we thought you were gonna go later in the day. I'll Uber home so I can have dinner ready and things like that. And I actually have always felt pretty uncomfortable with taking Ubers. I've never personally ordered one myself. I always actually feel more comfortable ordering if I ever need to using a taxi service. So we were saying, maybe I can just Uber home. I think before this case, we were both skeptical. And then afterwards, it was kind of like, nope, out of the question.
Yeah.
Especially at, late at night or 30 in the morning.
See, I have ordered an Uber for myself a couple of times. Once was in Kansas City, and I was going from my hotel back to the airport, and the driver, his name was Bruce. He drove a Ford Flex. And then another time when I was in South Carolina, I needed to get from the mechanic to a rental car place. So I don't remember this guy's name, but we had a very intense political discussion that I did not want to take part in. I was trying not to answer political questions, and then he got very upset when I told him that I didn't really pay attention to politics. But I only said that to avoid like a confrontational conversation with a stranger. But then he gave me a whole lecture. It was like really weird experience. So that's like a 2-star ride. But
I've been in Ubers with people before, but like they'll be the one to order it and like, whatever. Okay,
Right.
I'm with people.
Right.
But I wouldn't do it by myself.
I feel like it's a totally different experience if you're out with your girls on a night out and you are all, white girl wasted or, whatever ethnicity you identify with wasted. And
whatever.
I don't want to, single people out. I'm just saying. But it's one thing if you're with your friends and you need a safe way to get somewhere.
Which we're all about.
Yes.
Don't drink and drive.
No drinking and driving.
And so it has made, I think there's some statistics about how Ubers have possibly reduced the drunk driving rates. I think there's a recent statistic that has come out that's gone down.
I'm not familiar, so I don't want to comment. But
don't quote me on it. But I feel like I remember seeing something that more people are more likely to not drink and drive because of such services are out there.
That's good. And there's more than one out there, too. There's Lyft as well. So it's becoming popular. And, thank you to the Good Samaritans who are willing to drive drunk people home and willing,
God
willing
bless
to
ya.
potentially
That's
get
They're doing it for money. What are you talking about?
No, I know, but still, like,
It's like thinking,
that's
someone at the grocery
still not
store or
a
something.
very fun.
Yeah, but
your car can get thrown up in.
Yeah,
but they get plenty of money for it.
Yeah, but
Uber
it's not like
pays
you
more
get
than
thrown up
taxis.
on at the grocery store.
I don't know.
Although I have
wouldn't
had a
think
case of
so.
Sprite explode on me in front
They're
of
not doing it out of the kindness of their heart,
Well,
no,
to an extent, I would,
So anyway,
it's an additional way for a lot of people to make money. It's maybe not my first choice for an additional way to make money.
well, yeah, because you're a girl is dangerous.
True, also true.
But
All right,
I think we found what are the rates? Obviously, this case, the girl was not a driver but a passenger. So I wonder what the instance.
Well, let me get into the damn case. All right, so before we start diving into this case, I want to say that I spent a lot of time in that area, and if you're ever thinking about visiting Columbia, South Carolina, forget what you heard because it is a shithole, and especially 5 Points. And if you have to go out drinking, you want to go to the Vista. So there's 2 parts of Columbia. It's
Heather
broken
and
up
Will,
in 2
earmuffs.
parts. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we have some
Some
of our
Taco
Taco
Supremos
yeah.
live in Columbia.
So Columbia, the economy there is literally the college, the USC.
University of South Carolina.
University of South Kakalaki. That's
the
it.
Gamecocks,
I've
for
never
those of
been
you
to
who don't
Columbia.
know.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Well, it's also the capital, but that's just because it's in the center. Anyway, Columbia is, for the nightlife, is broken down, and the shops during the day. Columbia is broken down in 2 parts. The Vista, which is right across the Gervais Street Bridge. 5 Points is right at the campus. So that's where you get all the underage people, and literally 99% of it is underage drinkers. Because if I'm over 21, okay, yeah, well, let's say 23. If I'm 23, I'm not going to 5 Points because I know it's going to be nothing but 18-year-olds there.
It's
you know what I'm
so
saying?
Unless you're a creep, in which case that's where you would spend all
Also
your time.
true.
Yeah.
So University of South Carolina. I know you didn't go to University of South Carolina, but their college scene is a lot of there's some underage
Oh, yeah.
bars.
This whole
that
strip.
are obviously it's not legal.
Yeah,
Because
this.
some are like more house party colleges or fraternity sorority colleges. Mine was a big going out bar if you're underage.
Mine was a
fake
mix.
IDs.
It was kind of awesome. I miss it.
This whole. All right, so the Vista, you have Pearls, you have like wine bars, you even had, there's a blues,
nicer.
not a blues, but like a jazz guitar club.
Oh, that's cool.
Stuff like that, I mean, it's not like fancy, but it's not shooting up everywhere in freaking Columbia. Like 5 Points, all that area is bars that changed their name. Like she got abducted at the Bird Dog, which probably has been through 7 different name changes since I've lived there. Bars change their names because they get busted underage drinking. Whoever owns a bar like either renames it or sells it, or it's just recycled bullshit. But it's just scummy down there, man.
Sounds like Myrtle Beach at spring break time.
It's complete scum down there. And not only that, it's gotten so bad in 5 Points. Just one article I'm looking at right now, I just typed in, murder rate in Columbia. This article, now this is, most Columbia is part of Richland County, so this says Richland County murders reached decade high. Sheriff says gangs aren't the problem. There were 38 murders in 2018 in the Richland area. This one article that just came right up, February 17, 2019, 1 killed, 2 injured in Gervais Street, which is right there, shooting in Columbia. I mean, there's
38, that's approximately 1 every 10 days.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Maybe I was a little too harsh, but maybe I'm not. It's not her fault, obviously, and she wasn't even from Columbia. But if you're thinking about going to Columbia for college, man, stay the fuck out of 5 Points. It's shady, it's scummy, and people get killed there like crazy nowadays. It's a shithole. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Like, it's a complete
You've
shithole.
got to be careful.
There's literally one good thing on that entire strip, and that's the cookout.
And when you're young, you think...
Which I love the cookout.
Who doesn't? And
Yeah.
when you're young, you think that you're invincible and it's not going to happen to you. You're in college and you're just thinking, oh, I'm going to have to go out with my friends and it's going to be great. But real shit happens there, too.
All right, so in the video that I showed you guys, did you guys notice the whole time, and I'll show you the video again, she had her head down in her phone, which is kind of
common.
What I see nowadays.
Yeah.
In fact, it pissed me off. I was literally driving. I was like in Harris Teeter parking lot, and I was driving right in front. And some girl, like 18, 19, walks out. She doesn't even look left or right. Her face is in the phone. I had to slam on brakes, and she still didn't damn look at me. I could have got out and peed on her and she probably wouldn't even notice me. It's like, get off your fucking phone. I'm in a 2,000-pound automobile, pure metal, and you are a human body of 100 pounds. Like, do you want me to do the math here? Or do you just want me to just run you over and see what it looks like?
I just have to say that video that we saw, it's very upsetting. And I'm not trying to place blame on her whatsoever because this is a very tragic case. But the way that she got into the car, like, she didn't even, like, she looked as if, like, she knew exactly whose car she was getting into.
Yeah, look at her.
Like,
see, we're watching the video again.
Like, she was getting into her friend's car.
Well, she's drunk.
Well, yeah, but...
Okay, I mean, obviously, everyone down there is drunk. So bars down there, and even here, I think it's a South Carolina thing, pretty much 2 a.m.'s closing time.
Well, that's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, so she looks up, but she just gets right into the back of it. March 29th at 1:30, police respond to a missing person report from her friends at her apartment, the Hub, which the Hub is, it's in the Vista area. It's basically a college apartment.
Yeah, like student living.
Yeah, student living. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's going down from the State House. So
it's like, is it not like university sanctioned, but mostly students live there kind of thing?
Yeah. Police respond there at 1:30, and her friends are like, we haven't seen her. We're really worried. We were drinking. She got in an Uber, yada, yada, yada. So they were taking her report. Now, a little before 4 o'clock p.m., that same March 29th, that same day, Clarendon Police, which Clarendon County is about 60 miles from Columbia.
Oh. Which direction?
Away from us, I think.
Clarendon County Police, they respond to their own call around 4 o'clock that same day. Now, Clarendon County is 65 miles southeast of Columbia. Now, Clarendon is more rural area. Like, this is backwoods we talking about here in Clarendon, Jen. Backwoods. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Is Clarendon, is that the next county over from Colleton?
Yeah, I think. I don't know, though. Maybe I just recognize that name, Colleton. You know what crazy town I pass and when I'm going to Hilton Head? It's called Wachacuchi.
Yes.
Wachacuchi.
Yeah.
Hey, do we got any fans in Wachacuchi? That's a weird name, isn't it? A little before 4 o'clock that same day, Clarendon police, they respond to a body in a field kind of pushed back off a dirt road in Clarendon County, found by turkey hunters. I damn can promise you they weren't shooting for turkeys. They were shooting for deer. But when the cops got there, they were like, I swear I was shooting for turkey. Ain't nobody shooting for damn turkey in South Carolina. It's deer.
Is shooting deer illegal?
No. Oh, but
No,
it's
it's
not
just
illegal,
not in
but it's not
season.
in season.
You can only you have to when you hunt. You can only hunt certain things during certain times.
Yeah, and they had to tell the cops something. I don't know. That's not proven. They probably may have been shooting turkeys. That sounds really lame, though. They're probably shooting deer. I would imagine being where
I don't
they
know.
are.
I see a lot of pictures like of people with hunting turkeys.
Yeah, that's because they take dead turkeys with them and they shoot a deer. So when a cop comes, they just pull up a dead turkey. They always carry a dead turkey with them.
Well, that sounds smelly.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. That was a lie.
Well,
I can't believe you guys followed along with that.
I don't know
Wait,
anything
what?
about hunting.
Is it a lie? I don't know what to think anymore.
I don't get the whole hunting thing, like killing for sport. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
fuck
into
that. Killing for sport is stupid, man. Like, it's cool to kill for sport if you're going to eat that.
then it's not killing for sport; it's killing for food, for survival.
But if you're going to kill and leave it, then I'm going to teach a deer how to hunt a human. And
Have
he's
you ever
gonna
seen
hunt
that
you.
episode of American Dad?
Yeah. And plus, it's not damn fair, man. You got a high-powered rifle and you're sitting in a fucking treehouse. Oh wow, you're so cool. Look at all your camo. Did you buy that at
Carhartt.
Sportsman's Warehouse? I bet you did. I'm gonna shoot this deer with my high-powered rifle in the treehouse.
I just want someone to explain to me like what the rush is behind.
You want to fucking be a man? You take a damn bow that you made yourself out of some twine and you go shoot that damn deer.
And eat it. And
eat it.
And use the hide
Fucking raw.
for fur.
Yeah, and then use the hide to warm yourself up when you're camping.
I want to go camping.
I don't.
SLED actually responded at that same time to the body because the cops in Columbia and the cops in Clarendon, they know this is the same girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's 60 miles away. So SLED came in, which is South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. They came in like as an intermediary kind of
Yeah.
to form, the whole thing because it's happened in Columbia, the kidnapping, but she ended up in Clarendon.
It's multi-jurisdiction.
Yeah, multi-jurisdiction. SLED is kind of the, the
Yeah.
the entity that, I don't know, whatever.
Kind of like the state police,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that would be like in Massachusetts, the Mass State Troopers.
Probably, yeah.
Okay,
Sounds about
get this shit. Well, the guy's name that is in prison right now, and he just had his bond hearing yesterday. The guy's name is Nathaniel David Rowland. He's a 24-year-old and that was his car, his Chevy Impala. Now, she goes missing 2:00 in the morning on that Thursday.
And
So
there's
it's a
a
Thursday.
video of her getting in this car
Exactly.
with the license plate visible.
Well, no, the license plate
No?
Only
isn't
on the
on
back.
the front. Now, I saw a comment on Facebook, I think, and someone said, this is why license plates need to be on the front and the back
It
of
is.
vehicles.
It is the law in Massachusetts.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Where
and
you
in
have to
Rhode
have it on front
Island.
and back. Mm-hmm.
And I can see that because I'm in the prime
in
example
Connecticut.
right here.
It is. It is.
So she goes missing. Well, she gets in that. Not goes
It's
missing.
just so silly why you don't. Like,
Yeah.
every car has the spots for them.
I was actually like when I got my plates when I registered for my South Carolina license, I was like, where's my other plate? Like I was actually confused as to why I didn't.
Can you buy a second plate?
Oh no!
or-
For the other plate, you just go take a screwdriver and take someone else's.
pull a Andrew Cunanan.
Andrew Cunanan, Jen. I don't
But
think
yeah,
you were there
I mean,
for that
it's
episode.
I was.
It is strange. It seems like such a simple thing to.
Jen, you've been on every episode. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, but like sometimes drunk Jen is here and
yeah.
I am not. But I was there for that episode.
SLED responds and they take over the investigation on March 30th at 3 a.m. Now, she goes missing on the 29th, which is the Friday wee hours of the morning, literally, she goes out Thursday night, and so it's 2 a.m. that Friday. That you know what I'm saying? Friday wee hours.
Yeah.
The next day, on the 30th, a canine patrol was out searching for this black Impala, and this asshole's driving around trying to do the same shit again.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Exactly. So they pull him over, and he jumps out of his car, and he runs.
Oh.
But he ain't running from the cops too long because they catch him, throw him down on the ground, blah, 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 blah. Handcuffs, book him. Okay.
So is this the first time that he's done this?
No.
It kind of makes me think that it's not.
This is not the first time, and I'll get to that. It's a very
And then
good
it's
question.
like, how many other victims does he have?
Very good question, Nicole. You win today's taco. Now, the autopsy report said she was stabbed numerous times. Okay. Now, as soon as she gets into the car, so his Impala, because why didn't she just jump out once she figures it out? She just jumps out.
Played along with it.
Not that. The Chevy Impala had child locks
Oh,
on
no.
it.
So once she got in, he locked her in?
So when they arrested him, his Chevy Impala, there was a child seat in the back. They noticed he had child locks that were the way they were. You can't just pop them up. They were literally, the child cannot get out.
So it was like one of those cars that doesn't have the pop-up locks. It's like either electronic or like in the thing.
Yes. So there's no getting out that. Now, she's in the back, he's in the front. Was there any forced struggle or anything? In the Impala, they find a lot of blood.
Ooh.
A lot. And then they test it. Obviously, it's hers. When he gets arrested, like, this is still in the car.
Oh, the
Like,
car
he
he was
hasn't
driving?
Cleaned it.
Yeah, so he goes the night after he murders this girl and tries to do it again.
So he thinks that someone's going to be drunk enough to get into the back of his car and not realize that there is blood strewn all over his back seat. I mean, I've been pretty drunk before, but I think I would still notice that.
Well, there was also a container of bleach, germicidal wipes, and window cleaner in his car. Plus, there was a child seat in the back. Now, I don't know if the child seat was in there at first because the child seat's in the back. So she gets in the car. Here's what I'm thinking. He wasn't alone. The video you can't really see. I think there was someone ducked down because if she gets into the car and he's driving away, she could flail and kick and everything else. I feel like as soon as she gets in the car, they drive away, she starts getting stabbed. That's just my speculation. But I'll show you why I think that.
I mean, that's a good point because I was thinking if there's all of this blood and like if she was locked into the car,
So she was stabbed in the car.
There's no way to. I mean, there's no way to see whether or not she tried to escape or not. Where did he stab her? Does he go to a random field, get out, and then stab her and assault her, or does he I don't know.
Well, she was found 60 miles away in Clary.
Right.
This is the parents of Nathaniel, the killer, right here.
I want to know if you did this thing and tell me. That's all I want to know. Tell me the doggone truth.
And I talked to him yesterday, and he told me, he said, that wasn't him. And I believe him. He said, that's not him.
My son was telling me that Nate passed out at a house party. Yeah. He checked his pockets when he woke up. He checked his pockets. He didn't have his keys. So he walked outside to try to find his vehicle. He found the vehicle, opened the door, seen his keys, and seen all the blood inside the vehicle.
So he passes out at a party.
That's his story.
He wakes up and he doesn't have his keys because someone had obviously taken his keys. So he goes in the car. He sees a huge He sees a huge
Puddle.
He sees a huge puddle of blood in the car, and he just doesn't think it's suspicious because there's always huge puddles of blood in my car, right? So then he goes back to 5 Points and runs from the police Now, I'm sorry, the parents, you probably never listen to this, but your son did it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, I think
what the fuck? I mean, what the shit? Is this even a thing? Like, he runs from the police. There's a huge puddle of blood, and he's got all this cleaning agent in his car. Plus, the body was found 3 miles away from his home in Clarendon. But he was passed out at a party. Someone took his keys because he's passed out. Then they go and they rape some girl, dump her 3 miles away from his house, and slip those keys right back in his pocket. Are you fucking kidding me?
They would have taken his keys, driven to Columbia, which is 65 miles away, so that's an hour and change, and then take the girl, drive back to Clarendon, which is an hour and change, rape her, dump her, and then, like, how long was he passed out for? When did he wake up? Like, you would have had to pass out at, like, I don't know, maybe 8, and then wake up at, I don't know, 2 for that to be possible.
He sees a huge pile of blood.
And doesn't go to the cops.
And then he's like, fuck, I'll just go cruise around 5 Points.
And see what else I can find.
Okay.
Why do you think that there were 2 people involved?
5 months earlier, Richland County deputies say that Nathaniel Rowland, tried to profit off certain items, including a PlayStation 4, which I fucking want, by the way, now that we got that new TV.
No, we got to wait for the 5 to come out.
No, but the 5 isn't VR, Jen. Is it?
Are you sure? Yeah, I think it is going to be.
Are you sure?
Why don't we just wait and see? Why wouldn't you wait a couple extra months for the newer thing?
The PlayStation, they're not going to stop making games for PlayStation 4. Those PlayStation games will also play on PlayStation 5.
Exactly. So why wouldn't we wait for the PlayStation 5?
Because the specs aren't a huge difference. It's not like
but
going to
on
even
the
be
PlayStation
noticeable.
5, you can play your PlayStation 2 games. You can't do that on the PlayStation 4.
Can we move on from this conversation?
I'm just saying we should wait. I'll help chip in.
On October 19th, 2018. Now, this is over 5 months before this incident happened a month ago. They got Nathaniel Rowland, for trying to profit off items, including that PlayStation 4, during another woman's kidnapping. Okay?
During another woman's kidnapping?
Yes. So, all right, here's what happened. The two men, right?
Right.
They carjacked her. Now, she's driving, so they got the gun on her, from what I've read. It was at a traffic light. In Columbia, they jump in the car. They raped her. They forced her to drive to an ATM to pull out any cash she has in there. Then they made her drive all the way back to her own home. Now, this is after they sexually assaulted her and everything and robbed her at gunpoint. Anyway, drive back to her own home and then took her stuff, including her PlayStation 4, and then this asshole goes and tries to pawn it, And obviously, especially with an item like a PS4, these big items, like the ones that get stolen a lot, they have to report in the serial numbers and stuff. And obviously it came up, and they tracked Rowland down, and he was arrested for that. So I'm sorry, the father and mother, but I mean, dude, like, your son literally raped this girl and killed her and dropped her 3 miles away from your home. Like, there's no other explanation. Like, he did it.
I do have to say, like, after watching the parents play, I was like, oh my God, maybe he didn't do it, because they seem so convinced. But after hearing that, I mean, well, maybe he was the driver and there was a second person involved, and maybe he didn't actually
Parents
kill
also,
them.
I think, always want to believe the best in their children.
Yeah, but at the same time,
like,
there have been parents that we've covered that know.
100%. And I know he told my wife he didn't do it. And I know my wife ain't gonna lie about something like that. So I'm behind him 100%. But I can tell you one thing. My son is innocent. And I know that from the bottom of my heart.
If she wasn't killed immediately when she was in the car, she obviously probably tried to break out the window. Okay.
But the window's broken?
No, the windows weren't broken. But let's say she still had some time. For your information, number one, females out there, listen to me. For you guys that don't have the the key hubs, fobs that open up your car. If you got an old school key, put it, and I can't.
In between your fingers.
Yeah, in between your fingers, the center of your hand. Open your hand like Spock. Put that key in there, and every time you're walking anywhere, have it like that. And if someone tries to fuck with you, you go straight for the eyeball with that key. That's some Krav Maga shit. That's some like Israeli Special Forces defense shit I'm talking about right here. You know what I'm saying? I saw it on the History Channel. If you're ever in a locked car and you're trying to break the window out, you notice you can't do it because the window pane, the windows in the car are not meant to be broken like that. Like if you break a window in your house, it's going to have 3 huge pieces or whatever. But that's very dangerous. If you kick a window in your car and you got 3 pieces, one's going to slit your throat or something. So they make the glass specifically to shatter in thousands of little pieces. So you get cut up everywhere, but you don't get slit open. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can't just kick a window or punch it like they do in the movies.
Right.
You take that damn key or anything you have that has a tiny, a point on it.
Like a pressure point.
Yeah, pressure point, and you slammed your wrist, or you slammed that point into the center of the window. That's your best bet.
It's kind of like how they say that if you get stepped on by a woman's stiletto, it's way more painful than getting stepped on by an elephant because the pressure is evenly distributed amongst the elephant's foot, but not the woman's stiletto. The pressure is like in such a small amount of space that all of her weight goes into that one point, but the elephant's weight gets spread out evenly. So it's more painful.
But I'm not saying that.
And that's my fun fact of the day.
Hopefully she didn't have to suffer. That sounds awful, but hopefully it was just quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, if you ever find yourself in that situation, because if you ask yourself, how many times have you gotten an Uber and you haven't checked? Is this the right guy?
I also have to agree. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's terrible that it takes something like this to think about things. But up until this story, Nicole, I know you were saying like you were skeptical of Uber, and I was too, but not as much as and you hear about like taxi drivers and things happening to taxi drivers. But for some reason, before this story broke, I was like, oh, Uber, like it's safe. Like people are, I think because ultimately, me as an individual, I believe that ultimately most humans are inherently good. When you hear about a story like this, it really makes you think. And it's sad that it takes something like this. But on the other hand, it's like now the general population has more awareness to it. And they should have already been aware, myself included. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, this did happen. So yeah, it can be dangerous. So you really need to make sure you're checking up on yourself, make sure you're safe.
Yeah. But then we send our blessings to the whole family.
Yeah, my condolences, for sure.
And we're not making fun of the story. This is fucking tragic.
It's too close to home and too soon.
It's the What's My Name. It's hashtag What's My Name.
Oh, so, I have seen this.
So go to what'smyname.org. It has a story there. When an Uber driver or Lyft or whoever comes up there, you ask him, hey, don't be like, are you looking for John, or are you looking for Jen?
Are you
here for Jen?
I'm
Jen.
Or even if,
are you John?
Yeah, because they could say yes or no.
I'm John.
Yeah. Say, what's my name? And that hashtag. I think the family's doing a great job with this.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point.
I think they're really doing it.
I was going to say the other one that they have here is match the make, model, and license plate of the car with the one displayed on the app. So did she...
No, she just looked... I mean, you saw the video.
What was the car that she was supposed to get into? Do you know?
I don't know. The driver actually did show up later, but he left because he thought
wasn't there.
Yeah, she wasn't there.
And the last one is share the details of your trip with a friend. Utilize the share status function in the Uber app. That's good too that they have that.
Even if it's not malicious, if you're like, oh hey, are you so and so? Half the time, like when someone says something to me, like I don't always hear everything, so it's like, oh, are you Greg? It's like, oh yeah, right, Greg, yes. You want to make sure that they know who they're getting and not just like, oh, yes, this is Benjamin. or whoever your Uber driver's name is, Bruce, like mine, the Ford Flex guy. But yeah.
Yeah, and also don't get into a Ford Flex. South Carolina senator is trying to push a bill mandating all Lyft and Uber drivers and any other ride shares that's out there to have an illuminated sign that's actually got that QR code that you scan. So you'd actually, before you get in the ride, you have to scan.
Oh, and see if it matches.
So it'd make. Now, I do want to say the family's not just blaming Uber. They're not blaming Lyft. Number one, they called both those companies, and that's when they really got the dreadful news of, no, we don't have this car registered to us or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She didn't get into our car. But this is a tragic situation, but we're not attacking Uber. We're not attacking Lyft. We're trying to solve the problems. The parents are going out there trying to do the social thing, trying to get the word out, and I think they're focusing on the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so...
Obviously, we're not there, and we won't have more information unless he confesses or until he confesses. So I'm wondering if he actually intended to pick up a random drunk girl, rape, and murder her, or if he just like pulled over randomly, she got into his car, and he was, maybe drunk or high or or just had a really bad idea and did that. You know what I mean? So
and then was like, wow, that was kind of easy. Maybe I should try to do that again.
But this was 2 a.m. Like, he's not going to a bar. Why would he? All the bars are closing. It's closing time. It's freaking everyone's leaving.
Maybe he was originally going to be picking somebody else up. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I'm just saying, like,
we don't know what happened in the car.
Was it an accident and that became his first time? Like, or was it his first time?
Or maybe he didn't intend on killing her, but maybe he only intended on raping her, not saying that's a better alternative because it's definitely another tragedy, but like it's not like taking a life away. And maybe once maybe he assaulted her and she died, and it's like, oh crap, I have to like get rid of the body. No, but she was stabbed. I don't know. But like, we don't know what happened in the car because we haven't gotten a confession. We haven't gone to trial.
Yeah, there's
yet.
hardly no information on this case. But I can definitely see in the weeks coming I think there's 2 people in the car.
We'll see.
It makes sense that there's 2 people in the car.
It does make sense, especially, if it happens so quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I wonder... I mean, if they have Uber, they have tracking ability. Were they going straight towards Clarendon County the whole time? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Were they going straight towards Clarendon County the whole time, or were they going towards where she needed to go and then somewhere took a detour and ended up in Clarendon County in the woods?
No, because he has no idea where she's supposed to go. He's not a real Uber driver. He picked her up and they went to Clarendon County and like.
But what I'm saying is, like, we don't know the conversation.
Oh, I don't think there was conversation. I don't think she got in and that was it. What's my name? So anyway, that is today's story. That's all the information that's out. I mean, there's nothing else out about this story as of yet. So we'll keep you updated. Look out for Tuesday's episode. It's going to be a freaking amazing episode. And if you want me to do a hometown murder for you, talkmurder.com/join. Become a Taco Supremo. Get a badass t-shirt. Get some sticker swag. Get a lot of love from us and shout it out all over the place. Plus, you can submit your own story. Whatever story you want, I'll do it. The craziest story you can think of. I'll find every detail I can about it, and I'll research it for you, and I'll deliver it, and I'll dedicate it to you, my biggest fan. And thank you so much. Be safe.
Babe!
Your ability to twist words from others into whatever you want
very
them to
manipulating.
be. You really are very manipulative.
It's a trait.
I know.
I haven't seen, aside from you, I haven't seen someone eat their own booger since I was in kindergarten.
Excuse me. I have no idea where that came from. It's like from the pits of hell.
John is disgusted.
That's going to be on the very first.
Whatever.
The very first of the episode.
I'm real. Because I'm real. The way you move. I'm like Jenny from the Block, but I'm poor.